Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another legacy video playing Doomsday, and today I'm trying something a bit different than what I've been playing. So this list is sort of been concocted by my friend Kai and myself. I think this is mostly Kai's influence that made us try and pivot into Grixis for the Red Blasts. I'm on days, which I have been reluctant to really embrace, but it's been pretty good. Got the two Baleful Strix a la Ethan, no monkeys can't cry, and yeah, it's been really good so far, and it's been very robust against Delver, which, as you know, regular viewers of mine will know, is sort of my big, my big challenge, I think, with Doomsday is trying to learn how to play the deck versus Delver and not just completely get blown out. I was listening to, I think it was Everyday Eternal, the podcast. If you don't listen to it, by all means, I would encourage you to do so. It's probably my favorite legacy-centric podcast. It's by Julian Knab and Callum Whitefaces and Eric Landon, I think. But they had someone on, I think it was Max Gilmore, and he said very, I think, aptly, I felt like he was speaking to me, which was like, you know, if you're able to say that you don't have a very good Delver matchup, that means that you're getting destroyed by Delver. And if you're able to say that you have a pretty good Delver matchup, it probably means you sometimes will beat Delver, but you know, we'll still lose like half of the time at least. So I think Delver is just the something of a you know, police officer of the format in a way. So yeah, and I'm sorry that I didn't put out a video last week, and I'm not sure if this will actually be up by Friday, so if it's not, then sorry for that as well. Hopefully it'll be up soon enough. Just had a few things to do in real life, and also I prioritized playing. I played a couple of legacy matches on webcam for the first time with a Doomsday brother-in-arms, Doishi, which was really cool. It was really fun. It's a lot of fun. I played Food Chain and he played Doomsday just because I didn't want to sit and grind the Doomsday mirror, and I have a Food Chain deck. So, all right, enough about that. I think this is a keep. We're on the draw, so it's not the best hand, but it's acceptable. Right, okay, so tapped Bog. Well, I guess Bog is always tapped, but played as a land drop makes me think it's probably like Turbo Depths, or I guess it could be lands, but that would be a really weak opening for lands. So yeah, any sort of Elvish Reclaimer. Okay, hang on. Exile Spirit Guide to cast. Okay. So some sort of Turbo Depths, I think. And I think Turbo Depths. Oh yeah, wow. Okay, hang on. Is this just happening? We do have the ability to Force of Will, pitching Thassa, and then try and win with like Baleful Strix and Street Wraith beats. I guess we just pass here, right? If they just go stage, we're a bit sort of boned. Hex Mage works as well. So, do I make the greedy play and daze here? And if they have Spirit Guide, I'm shit out of luck. You know what? I think I'm going to cycle. I am going to cycle the Unearth and see if I can draw a blue pitch card. And then if I do, maybe I will daze first. Yeah, I guess with the Spirit Guide, they could also be sitting on Veil of Summer. But you know, we lose either way, and we have to kill this to prevent this mage from getting onto the battlefield. So I think this is the play. All right. So I'm gonna play Doomsday, and hopefully they won't be able to do something weird end of turn, and we can win. So they have Bajukabog, and they already played it, so I think it's unlikely that they have two, but it's not impossible. So let's maybe try and play around our graveyard. Let's draw predict. Let's predict Brainstorm, and we will have access to 4 or 5 mana, 3 after predict. So I guess we can just draw Edge of Autumn and Street Wraith, and maybe we just draw Unearth just in case they have like a Thoughtseize or something, and take the Thassa from us. So yeah, we predict Brainstorm, draw Edge, Street Wraith, we play Thought. Yeah, I think I like this. Now if they were paying attention, they would have seen the Unearth in our graveyard sort of be highlighted, so that might prime them to go for like Bajukabog. Let's put Unearth on the bottom, Street Wraith, Edge, Brainstorm, predict, and pass. I guess Thoughtseize and a they had the Spirit Guide, or I guess they could have drawn it. What does this do? So you search library for now, or yeah, okay. So they get to tutor for Thespian Stage, or yeah, it must be right. Oh, Verdant Catacombs. Okay. Crop rotation. Okay. Ghost Quarter. Sure. I mean, that means that we can't cast Unearth and Thassa and predict in the same turn, but it is what it is. Okay, so they have Ghost Quarter. It would stand to reason that they have Wasteland then, right? So why get the Ghost Quarter instead of the Wasteland, to hope that I sort of mess up and click yes on the shuffle? Maybe. Let's name Brainstorm. And yeah, let's just play it out. Why, Magic Online, are you doing this? Alright, cool. So, what can we do against this deck? I don't think we get a lot of tools, to be honest. I guess Flusterstorm is decent at like countering their discard spells and their like, yeah, I guess they have quite a few targets, right? Sylvan Scrying into the north, then Crop Rotation. So I don't hate that. I guess Pyroblast is probably completely dead. Baleful Strix is actually not the worst because it can sort of put off the Merit Laish swing for a turn. So I don't hate that. not sure. I'm really confused about their land setup in terms of wastelands and ghost quarters. It would seem odd to have like a random one-off ghost quarter, right? So I think we can rule that out. So they will be on wastelands as well, I guess. If there's something I'm missing and there's a reason to run ghost quarters and not wastelands, please let me know. I don't know about therapy. Do we want the 3 therapy? I think maybe cut one of those. So cards I would expect from them after sideboard would be like surgical extraction and discard spells. That would be like my main concern. Well, this is a turn 1 kill uninterrupted. But I don't think we can necessarily expect them to not have a way to disrupt us. They mulled a 5. So if they don't have discard here, it's pretty good. If they do have discard, they might just kill us on turn 1 if they can go like discard Doomsday Surgical. Wow. This deck is really all in. What a play for turn 1 on a mull to 5. I think I like going for it here, to be honest. So what do we do? Yeah, let's get Basic Island. And I think I'm not going to play around Surgical. And Surgical here, I'm not going to put anything that I don't want to lose in the graveyard, but I'm going to be casting Predict. So if they Surgical with that on the stack, that can mess us up. And we will be needing every card in this pile. And we won't have a second chance because it's all about artifact mana, so it's a little bit, you know, little vulnerable. So what? Predict, LED, Street Wraith, Petal, Thassa. Maybe I don't need to go so all in though. But then like next turn they can Ghost Quarter us, so no, I'm gonna do this. What am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have Petal, 5. So we put Petal on the bottom, Thassa, and then these 3. Looks like they have F6, but you never know. Put back Scalding Tarn, put back Predict. Guess they could have Mindbreak Trap. That would be very sad for us. So we predict Scalding Tarn. Whoop, the old turn 1 win. Sweet. So that was Turbo Depths win. This is my record keeping with this deck. Alright, cool. On to game number, or round number 2. Love fast rounds. So surely this means that we spent 10 minutes on game 1 and then another 3 minutes on game 2, right? Yeah, it must be. So really exciting, this deck. I really think it has some legs, especially the Delver. As you can see, I'm 1-1 versus Delver so far, but the loss I took, I punted a bit, and Kai Sawatari, the old Storm Bro, who's also playing this list, he is like 5-1 or 5-0 against Delver. So he's crushing it, and just it fills me with confidence with this list. All right, we win the die roll, so let's choose to be on the play. Wow, gas! We're just drawing gas tonight. Yeah, this is a keep for sure. And this is a turn 1 Doomsday pass. And I'm going to fetch Underground Sea here. And go Dark Ritual. And if they have Wasteland, that means they can't Daze. And we have Petal and Snow-Covered Swamp to play around. It's like to cast the Predict. Oh, you know what? I just lost to an Urza deck. I just lost to this. I called it Echo Stompy. I'm not sure it's the same deck. I didn't see Force of Will, but they were like Urza and Karn, and then just Chalices. They had Chalice for 1 in like 2 out of 3 games, I think. Okay, so we force here. Okay, so we have to contend with them possibly going like turn 1 Chalice. There's even a risk of them going like turn 1 Echo of Eons, but if they do, we won't deck ourselves, and we would have a good shot at drawing this. Oh no, never mind. Hang on. We won't deck ourselves because we will have 2 cards in hand, 1 in the graveyard being Doomsday, and then the 5 cards in the deck. So yeah, that would probably be fine. But let's see here. So we want to draw Predict. We will have 3 mana. So let's predict away a what do we do? Because I want to be able to not have to worry about Chalice for 1, which I think I can. But I also, whatever I predict, I want to possibly be a useful card, you know? So maybe what do we do? Maybe a land we might want. Let's predict an Underground Sea. Then let's draw. I guess we would need to draw Petal and Thassa, right? And then have Unearth as our last card. That loses to some things, right? It loses to Chalice for 0. I guess it doesn't lose, but it's sort of, it makes it so, no, actually it would lose. I guess we could just not predict next turn, but that would be very bad for us. So Chalice for 0 is definitely bad. It might also lose to like Hand Disruption. Sorry, not Hand Disruption. Like Stack Interaction, like Force of Will and stuff. Can we do something better here? This is the disadvantage of not having Cavern in the main deck against, I guess, you know, Force of Will decks where you pass a turn, but that is what it is. So, predict, Underground Sea, draw Petal, Thassa. No, I think I like that. Unearth will be our backup plan. Put Unearth on the bottom, then Petal and Thassa. Underground Sea, predict. I'm going to play out this pedal just in case they were to drop a Chalice for 0 next turn. That way we'll have it. Okay, so let's predict ourselves here. That was Underground Sea. And hopefully they won't be able to answer this and Unearth next turn. They could have removal here, but I'm not sure what 1-mana removal they're running out of their Urza Force of Will deck. Okay, none, it seems. Alright. So, we definitely want the Pyroblasts. We want the Cavern of Souls. Don't think we need the mountain. Don't think they have like a wasteland. I guess we want the anti-artifact package, the Abrades and the Crater Man. And I'm gonna put Flusterstorms over here as a maybe. And is it Urza the one that synergizes with the graveyard? No, that's Emery, right? But they could have Emery. But we can't just bring in everything. So I think we can stand to lose a few Dark Rituals. I think we probably don't want the Baleful Strix. And I think we can live without, without the Cabal Therapies. Maybe, do we want like 1 therapy? No. The therapies are, by the way, a bit of a point of contention between me and Kai. Like, he likes them a lot. And I was on 1 therapy, 2 Thoughtseize, then I was on 2 therapy, 1 Thoughtseize, and now I'm on 3 therapies, but I think I might go back to 2 therapies and then 1 either Thoughtseize or Duress. Sometimes you just want to put one of those in the pile and be sure that you can actually you know, go for it like that. Like put it in the pile and take out that Stifle, or, you know, or just, you know, if you have the mana and Daze is no longer an option, sometimes it's just like really good to be able to discard. Oh, excuse me. Very sorry if that was loud. So what do we cut here? Maybe we cut like a petal. Oh yeah, not getting away from this hand. I didn't come here to not ponder Daze and Force of Will on turn 1. Second Dark Ritual is a little awkward. It's very good. Problem is we want all of these cards. We definitely need the second land. We really need like Ponder. Maybe Pyroblast is the one we need the least, but it's also very good. So it's about like, I want to draw the land now, and then I want to put either Ponder or Pyroblast on top. I'm not sure which one though. Probably Ponder. That way we have the choice to Ponder next turn or keep it open for as to pitch for force. So maybe this isn't a Chalice deck. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take Baleful Strix all day for my opponent. Yikes. So I think I'm going to wait 1 turn here before drawing, before doing anything to draw the Pyroblast. feel pretty good about being able to answer whatever they were going to do, even without the Pyroblast. Hopefully I won't live to regret that. Green. Should I be fearing Veil then? Oko. Oko is a pretty fast clock. So it's not the deck I was expecting to be fighting at all. But we'll let Oko resolve, and we will we may or may not Pyroblast Oko. So I think we draw Brainstorm and then we Pyroblast Oko. Because Oko can make Mox Diamond into a 3/3, and then next turn we're taking 7 instead of 4. Yeah, no, I'll do it now. I was going to say, I kind of hope they don't have Flusterstorm, but I guess then, on the other hand, if they do have Flusterstorm, then I wouldn't hate them using it there. Sure. So if we just raw draw the Doomsday here, that would be amazing. Chalice of the Void for 0. Okay, it would be less amazing now. Right. Actually, you know what? That was a mistake, right? I was supposed to abrade that. Okay, let's preordain. And bottom both of those. Wow, that's really awkward. I think I'm going to lose now. Spin one of the Dark Rituals. Yeah, I should totally have abraded something. I should have abraded the Chalice, or maybe... Is this still an artifact? No, it's not. So yeah, I should have abraded the Chalice. So we take 5. Is there any way out of this? Probably not, right? I think it involves Brainstorm if there is to be. Yeah, no, we're out. I mean, we can... No, we can't even... I was going to say we can, like, abrade the one of the Strix to not go to 1, because 1 is effectively lethal here. But we'll have to crack a fetch, so let's go like this and concede. Okay, so I'm not sure how much I like the abrades. Actually, no, I take that back. I like the abrades, but I'm not sure I need 4 of that effect. And Crater Maker is just a mana slower. Probably want to be a bit more explosive. Is there anything else we want here? Actually, I think I just want both of these rituals. Yeah, let's try this. I think between Force of Will, Daze, and Abrade, we have enough to answer, like, Chalice for 1 at least. Ah, this is a terrible hand. Let's mulligan that. Yeah, this is better, but it's kind of awkward. I mean, I guess it's fine, actually. I think we bottom the Unearth, and we can go like turn 1, have open Pyroblast, and then make a hopefully we'll draw land on like one of our first 2 draw steps. So this is going to telegraph in a pretty big way that we have a Pyroblast, but I think we can't really do it the other way around, because if we play Delta and then actually have to fight over something on turn 1, then we have to fetch Volcanic, and we can't afford that if we want to. My plan right now is to get to 3 swamps and play Doomsday. Well, we can do that now, but if we would have to hope they only had 1 piece of interaction, I'd actually rather have them tap out. I mean, that's, I guess, a given, but I would either rather have them tap out or wait 1 more turn and see if I can draw land, because then we can Doomsday with Pyroblast and Force Up. Yikes. It's 5 mana. It's Force of Will mana. Nope, I think we pass. Come on, 6 mana. You must be able to do something. What, Oko? Lurie, when it enters, puts up 4 cards, and then you can tap to choose an artifact card in your graveyard and cast that. Okay. So they right now can get a Baleful Strix into play next turn, but they will have to pay for it, right? Cast that, yeah. So they can cast a Baleful Strix. So I'm just trying to work out if I should actually be Pyroblasting Emery. I don't think so. But if I don't draw land soon, then I'll probably end up regretting that. Ooh, Dark Ritual, that's even better. Okay, so I am going to get an Underground Sea here. And I'm going to try with a Doomsday. We lose whatever fight is going to happen now. I think we will lose if they have Flusterstorm. Tapping out. Okay, so they have the Hardcast Force. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Seeing as I have my Predict in hand, I think, and how much mana do they have access to? They have access to 4. Okay, so I think I'm gonna draw Pyroblast for the turn, and then I'm going to predict, say, a Force of Will, and then I'm going to draw like Thassa and Edge of Autumn, and edge into Cavern. Okay, so this loses if they are able to, and by lose I mean this means I don't win next turn if they were able to somehow remove my Lotus Petal. And I've seen crazier things. I've seen, and it's, I guess, you know, it wouldn't be a bad play, like if they have Abrupt Decay or something. It actually, you know what, it also means that we can't really use the Pyroblast that I'm thinking about drawing, because we will need 2 mana to predict and then the Petal and the Cavern to cast the Oracle. So maybe I won't draw Pyroblast. Maybe that needs to be a Daze, and it's a lot less oppressive, right? We could also consider putting in an Abrade to deal with some nasty artifact, but I don't think so. I think I like this. So let's draw Daze, let's predict Force of Will, let's draw Cavern and Edge, I guess, or Thassa and Edge, and then Edge into the Cavern. So I think I like putting Cavern on the bottom, and then Thassa, Edge, Force of Will, and then Daze. Pass. So now they get to either cast from the graveyard the Baleful Strix or a Lotus Petal. And it's going to be Baleful Strix. Yeah. The cool thing about this pile is it also plays around Chalice of the Void for 1. Okay. I don't think that, you know, we'll get much mileage out of our Daze that we draw here, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so we put Force of Willy. And let's cycle one of the lands. Choose Wizard. And that should be game. And we've only cast 2, this is the second spell, so Mindbreak Trap is off the table. Sweet. Got there. Okay. Gonna try one more round here before I go to bed, at which point I will be sleeping. And then I will record the rest of this late tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow or Friday, potentially. I guess so far so good with Doomsday, right? Like, I don't think this list has, in these 2 matches, has been insane or anything. Compared to other Doomsday lists. So let's see if we can get some mileage out of it here. Okay, we again win the die roll. That's fortunate. Choose to be on the play. They reveal Gyruda. Yikes. So I've come to learn that Gyruda can be sort of a couple of different things, right? Some people play it as the combo deck we know and hate, and some people play it as sort of like in a Reanimator shell, where it's basically just a 6/6 they can cast and then maybe hit like a Gristlebrand or something. And I've also seen it out of like this mud type deck with like Lodestone Golem and Chalice and all these nasty things. Can we keep this hand? It's got no Doomsday. We're on the play, so we have a solitary Daze here. I think I'm going to keep. we get to look at quite a few cards between Street Wraith and Preordain, so. So let's, they keep 7. That's a bit scary. I think I keep, I draw the Brainstorm and, oops, play the Petal. And if we need to force something next turn, there's a world where we can like Street Wraith first and then like cast Petal, cast Brainstorm off Petal. Tundra, interesting. Maybe that means it's the regular Gyruda combo deck. Maybe they want Tundra to be able to cast like a Restoration Angel. Oh my, that's 5 mana. Yep, they got Gyruda unless we hit Force. So I mean, let's hope we hit Force, or that this Street Wraith cycles into our one of Pyroblast. Womp womp. Okay. Let's put away Daze, put away Preordain, because that's going to be milled now. And hope they whiff. That was a phantasmal image. Another image. So this has haste, okay. I have a hard time sort of keeping up with this when it, like, how it mechanically happens, because, okay, so now the last card is Dax Duplicate. Did they mess that up? And right now this says there's a trigger on this deck. So now 4 cards are supposed to go on top of this deck. Let's see how that works. And there's a Restoration Angel. Yeah, okay. So I might just be thick here. Sometimes it seems like I look and there's nothing, and then it's sort of already over there. Yeah, okay, so now they have a chance to, they can give all of their stuff, no, yeah, they could have given all their stuff haste, right? See? Nothing here, but then it's already happened? That's annoying. So how much of this shit has haste? Like 2 so far? Meanwhile, I'm also getting milled out here. And they're just seeing my whole deck, so I think maybe I should have, that was a bit of a punt on my part. Yeah, let's just concede. I should have conceded. No point in giving them my whole deck. Okay, this is not a pleasant matchup, but the 3 Pyroblasts hopefully will do some work, and the Grafdigger's Cage should also hopefully do a bit of work. And they have like Chalice and stuff, so I guess a Braid. So what don't we care about? We don't really care about Baleful Strix. Probably don't care about Therapy. Maybe we can stand to be a land lighter. Or maybe that needs to be a Petal lighter. And I don't think we'll be like setting up predict anytime soon. So how many blue cards? Like 4, 8, 9, 10, 14, 18, 22. Is that correct? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 21 with predict, and 22 with Thassa, which I won't like to count. And Flusterstorm does nothing. They showed us. Actually, do we want Crater Maker over a Braid? Because they showed us. They showed us Thought-Knot Seer. He kills Thought-Knot Seer, right? Destroy target colorless non-land permanent. Yeah. Okay. So maybe do like this. Let's play first. This is a ridiculous hand. So this hand just, it loses if they have Cavern. I think I'm going to mulligan, even though it has the force. Yeah, I'll keep this. Seems much better. And let's put away one of the lands. So let's hope they don't have a Cavern and 6 mana, like Cavern of 5 more mana. Is the Crater Maker good enough? I guess Crater Maker can also like kill a Lion's Head. I mean, we definitely don't want the Lion's Head Diamond, but I think if we draw off Daze here, we won't have to pitch Brainstorm to Force of Will, or we might even get to actually Daze, which would be nice. Okay, no Cavern, turn 1 at least. Oh no, nothing turn 1. So I think here we fetch and play out the Crater Maker. And we leave ourselves with, you know, a clock, a small one, but still a clock. And the ability to both force and daze, and a fresh like card next turn for when we want to brainstorm. So they know we're on Doomsday. I'm just saying that to myself here. Let's get bad lands in case we draw Doomsday. Bringing this in might have been a complete punt, but where we are right now in this, like in the game, I feel like it makes sense to play it. Uh-oh. Yep. The card to counter here will be LED, I think. Unless they just have like a bunch of Moxes. There's one went out there, Dragon Lord. Okay. So I suppose there's a world where I'm supposed to just kill this with my Crater Maker. I think I want to brainstorm first. Okay. That's good, right? So let's see, if we put back the land and the Ponder, or I guess the land and one force, then we can Dark Ritual Doomsday. We'll have the ability to both force and daze next turn, whatever their big mana play is. But that might not be good enough. We can also keep the land and not be able to, and if we do that, then we're able to Crater Maker the Chrome Mox now. So if we keep the land and we leave the days, I suppose it kind of comes to the same thing, right? It comes down to the same thing, except we're losing day. We're like putting a land back in our hand. I don't think that will matter. There's also a question if we might need to force on our turn if they have Mindbreak Trap, which they may very well have. Ah, this is tough. We could also wait one turn and then try and win on the same turn, but yeah, again, Mindbreak Trap might get us. So let's say we make a pile next turn, we draw Predict, we predict drawing, like bidding Thassa, drawing Pyroblast and Unearth. Yeah, so that then we need the land. So we put back Days and we put back Force. And they can't sap anything in right now to swap with this Crater Maker, right? Well, no, it doesn't matter, but I guess if they have Mindbreak Trap, they'll likely use it now, once I try to go Dark Ritual Doomsday. So let's just hope they don't have double Mindbreak Trap. So let's try and think about the pile. I think it's going to be Predict, cast Predict, putting Thassa into the graveyard, and then drawing Pyroblast. No, damn it, I miscalculated, because that leaves us with no mana to both Pyroblast and Unearth. But at that point, that's like Unearth will only be our second spell, so maybe we just need to like drawing Predict, cast Predict, put Thassa into the graveyard, draw Unearth and Street Wraith, and then Street Wraith into like a Daze or whatever. Yep, there was the Mindbreak Trap. Let's pray they don't have a second. If they do, we're kind of up shit's creek. They do. Damn. Well, let's pass and oops. Go like this. And hopefully we can sort of make them stutter a bit. So we need to draw Pyroblast, like, or Grafdigger's Cage ASAP. I will settle for Doomsday. Okay, Pyroblast is good. I wonder if I was supposed to play around those Mindbreak traps and just pass a turn and then go Doomsday next turn. Feels like when you were able to play through one, probably that's good enough, right? Don't think I can play him out in case they hit like a soul land. I'll be sad if they thought not seer us though. Okay. Let's bottom top and play out this Crater Maker. Guess they can hard cast Mindbreak Trap right now. Interesting game. I wonder if they can play a clone right now, and that's what they're debating, like sack their pedal and then clone the Crater Maker, but what would that really achieve? I guess they could then kill my Crater Maker and then next turn play like Thought-Knot Seer or something. I don't hate drawing that. I'm going to bottom both of these. Okay, that's good. I guess we could have cast that if we had preordained off of Volcanic Island, but I don't want to leave myself like unprotected against with this Pyroblast in my hand. Okay, here we go. I think this is probably fine for us. I mean, hopefully it is. I have had Sire of Insanity come off their one frickin' flip. There is Sire of Insanity, so hopefully they don't have more of those. Because this has to be one of the 4 cards, right? Please don't flip Sire of Insanity. Okay, now we kill him. What's this? Creature on the battlefield. What's dethrone? Whenever it attacks player with the most... Okay, you get to put a counter on it, whatever. Okay, that felt kind of merciful. Hopefully that means we win. We can't win this turn though. Sadly, even with Edge of Autumn. Okay, so now we take, we have 4 mana, so let's draw Pyroblast, Edge into Predict, Predict Thassa, draw Unearth, and the blank, right? What do we draw? That's the blank. I'm not sure. Let's see here. So we draw Pyroblast, we edge into Predict, we cast Predict, have 2 mana left, binning Thassa, drawing Unearth, and I guess Maybe Graph Digger's Cage, so we don't. So they only see one Graph Digger's Cage. I'm not sure that matters at all, but neither will whatever it is that we draw. Actually, yeah, no, never mind. I was gonna say we were vulnerable to them drawing and playing a Chalice, but we have the Crater Man, so that's great. Let's put Graph Digger's Cage on the bottom, and then Unearth, then Thassa, Predict, and Pyroblast. Image, sure. So I will, no, I'll block this guy. What's the hubbub? What's the holdup, buddy? Maybe our opponent has gone to the bathroom in an emergency evacuation of themselves. Oh, sorry, that was vulgar. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Okay, here we go. Alright, so I will kill this guy. Not that it really matters. Alright, cool. Let us let's tap for blue and cycle. And we name. Okay, they concede. Excellent. Alright, so 1-1 and on the draw for the final scary match. I think it is what it is, right? I don't think we can, I don't, do we want therapy, really? Like, I'm also not sure about the Crater Man, to be honest. Feels like that whatever they're doing with like chalices and Thought-Knot Seers is not what's going to kill us. It's going to be all the other stuff, you know, the Gyruda stuff, but I don't know. Therapy seems a bit tempting versus Mindbreak Trap, but at the same time, I think we can do a better job than we did at playing around Mindbreak Trap. Okay. So I don't think we can keep this. They mulligan to 6 as well. And this hand does nothing. So I'm going to mulligan as well. Damn it. Yeah, I guess keep this. It's terrible, but will we get to a turn 2 where having 2 days is actually matter? Probably not. They might as well just have their stupid cavern, and then it doesn't matter at all. Okay, so far so good. We're not dead yet. Ponder into force or cage or something would be nice. What do we take here? So if they're sitting on LED Cavern, then everything will be for naught, right? And I suppose I would rather have the Dark Ritual in hand, just in case they whiff, and we then get to go Doomsday next turn. So yeah, Cavern of Souls, the big scary card from our opponent. Chalice for 1 would also be bad, but they would have cast it right, so. Gemstone Cavern, okay, cool. So I think I am going to just play the cage here, keep open Double Days, and then next turn play Dark Ritual Doomsday, playing around Mindbreak Trap. And we just have to remember when we go off that we can't unearth with cage in play. But let's worry about that when we get to it. Cavern of Souls. Yikes. Eldra. Illusion. Okay. Interesting. Well. So we're going to daze that. So I guess they have an illusion in hand, and they can't cast. This can never. Or can it? They could have chosen Eldrazi, right? Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. This works out nicely with the delta. We should be able to just cycle through, like cast a cantrip and then just cycle, draw Thassa, and then fetch, that kind of thing. So let's see. Let's say we draw. We draw Preordain. Actually, there's a world where they go like something we have to daze next turn, or where they get like a Chalice for 1 in play, meaning the Preordain is off the table. So do we think they actually have removal? Probably not, right? So let's say we draw Edge for turn, we edge into Street Wraith, we Street Wraith into Thassa, and then we have like we have an island to fetch off of our sea, oh sorry, our delta. Then we lose if they have removal, because we have 1 card left, but we don't die to Mindbreak Trap, and I honestly would be kind of surprised if they have removal. It's a little bit uncomfortable going like this, but I think we do it right. I guess the last card is a blank then. I guess let's put a force there so they have to respect us having force. So we put, guess we put the island on the bottom, then the force, then Thassa, Edge, Street Wraith. And pass. Hopefully, oh, you know what? Nah, if they go Chalice for 2, we can daze that. But that was a bit loose. No, we can't because they have Ancient Tomb. Wow, if they had gone Chalice for 2, imagine that. I should have played around that. I should have put Cavern in there as the last card, not Force of Will. Okay, so. Yeah, I guess we just go for it and hope it's good enough. Yeah, they concede. Just making, I should have made sure of that before, but I just suddenly got a bit scared, like, wait, does this make colored mana? But it's only if it has that luck counter on it, right? I can't read it. Yeah, luck counter. Alright, cool. That's kind of a scary deck to play against. Alright, I will be back for round number 4. Alright, it is tomorrow. I have been taking a break for you. A few seconds have elapsed. Yeah, no, I finished playing the 3 first rounds yesterday and had to pack it in. And now I just got home after seeing one of my good friends for the first time since before Corona, and I have had a few beers, so hopefully I won't make too much of a mess playing, you know, Doomsday. But we'll see. Hope to carry on where I left off yesterday. And yeah, what did I face? I faced Turbo Depths, this Bug Urza list, and then a Gyruda. So a little bit of a spread of decks. So who has been getting trophies? Flying Whales just always seems to be near the top. I feel ambivalent about the whole like scoreboard because it would probably be too much to like the alternative to a scoreboard of trophies, I guess, would be to like have a rating system where, because I mean, if you don't do anything other than play Magic Online, then eventually you'll just have a lot of trophies, right? If you're somewhat semi-capable. So having a lot of trophies does not in itself say anything about your ability, but I mean, obviously it will sort of, I'm not trying to downplay the ability of people that have 8 trophies after a few days or like a few weeks. It's obviously, you know, that they're good players, but yeah, sometimes I just wonder, like, people chase those trophies. I mean, I like trophies. Anyways, we have won the die roll, and let's choose to be on the play. Oof, I think we're like 1 card away from this hand being a keep, but this hand doesn't do anything at all. It needs Doomsday, and if it had Doomsday it'd be really good, but short of Doomsday it needs cantrips, and so we're gonna mulligan. Yeah, we'll keep this. It's not amazing, but it has a cantrip. It's unfortunate that the force of will isn't a daze. So let's put back one of these Sculling Tarns. Because now, like, the Preordain needs to kind of both hit another blue card to pitch and, like, I guess another cantrip or Doomsday. But gonna play Tarn and an Island. And Preordain. So let's bottom the Volk and draw the Daze to have a pitchable card, or even just Daze, I guess. And I think we play the Petal, just in case we need to force something and not get dazed out ourselves. I don't like doing this because it gives away a lot of information that we play a Petal. It means we're not on Snoko. Oh, what's this? Windswept Heath gives me hope that it's like a Thalia deck. Yeah, I guess it is. It's probably Maverick, or it could be Alurin. So we're sort of back to where I worried that our like pre-mulligan hand of 7 would leave us at, which is just, you know, nothing. So it's likely we will force something here, or daze, potentially. Let's see. Yeah, you can very much do that. That doesn't matter. Hex Drinker. I think I'm gonna bite here and just daze this, paying for it. This will grow big pretty fast. It's a clock. It's not like a hate bear, so you could make an argument that we're supposed to save a counter magic for like Leovold or something, but it's low-hanging fruit when you get to day something, I think. So, and now we get to Force of Will anyways. It'll just cost us a Dark Ritual, so. And I think we probably need to force almost, I won't say almost anything, but like any 3-drop that they could play here. It's potentially very scary, like Knight of the Reliquary, I think needs to get forced. Yeah. So Knight is a 4/4 right now. And I think it's worth it, right? If we can get to Doomsday like without them having a threat in play, then that's really good. Force Pitch Dark Grit. Come on. Ugh, wow. That was like possibly the worst non-land card we could draw. And the thing about Maverick is it's very hard to, you know, imagine they don't just have more bombs or like, you know, kind of significant cards to play. Okay, Plague Engineer is actually probably one of the best things we could hope for, because it's like just a 2/2 against this. What do they choose? Merfolk. Okay, so they know what's up. Is there any reason to do this? Like, if they could actually have Leovold. I'm also not sure if they might be able to get the read that we're only on 3 basics, and so they could double waste this to get us to, you know, fetch. Like, they waste the fetch, we fetch a non-basic, and they waste it. But I think playing it out, and just in case they actually end up having like Leovold, is probably worth it. So they're flooding out. That's our luck. So I think we cycle this. I'm going to do it like this in case I draw a cantrip rather than Doomsday. Wow. Things not really coming together here. I also think I need this Dark Ritual, so I don't even think I can like force pitch Dark Ritual next turn. We can't do it now because we need 3 mana to do that, but pass, okay. Wow. Brainstorm would be very nice. Okay, so what are they casting? Green Suns? Green Suns for 2. Probably for Collector Roof. Yep. So Collector Roof probably won't end up mattering too much as we have all these lands, but it could. Wow. Now we're at a point where we can't Doomsday and pass, I don't think. Like, we'll be knocked down to 9 now, so we can't. So we really need that Brainstorm to hit. Well, I guess like we have potentially one more draw step after this one. Okay, Ponder is something. Okay, that's excellent, actually. So let's put, is this enough? We will, yeah, this should be enough. So we'll drop to 4, we'll drop to 5 next turn from their beatings, and okay, seeing as I'm taking this long doing this, there's a chance that they will figure out something's up and will wasteland our Tarn, in which case we'll just have to let it get wasted because we need the predict. But I think this wins us the game unless they can really muck us up next turn. And I think I'm going to have to, due to them having the Collector Roof, I'm going to have to play into them getting Bejuga Bog out. Yeah, they knew what's up. But it should be fine still, because we can we have mana to both Dark Ritual, Doomsday, and Predict. As long as they don't have like Ghost Quarter here, or Thalia, or any number of hate pairs, really. So yeah, we can't play around like crop rotation for Bejuga Bog, I think is... Oh, this is scary. What does this do? Oh, it just brings back a land? Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I think that's fine unless they can somehow do something I'm not, you know, thinking about. Right. Okay, so they... The card we had to worry about there was Scavenging Ooze, I think, and they didn't draw it or play it. So hopefully they don't play crop rotation or some other way that I'm not thinking about to get Bejuga Bog into play. Okay, so what we do here is we build a pile that has Thassa on top. So they could be sitting on Plow, right? So let's say we drop to 2 here. So actually we can't build a pile that has Street Wraith in it. What we can do is build a pile that lets us force. Oh, you know what? Actually, we can't, right? Well, yeah, no, let's see here. No, we can't. So we predict Thassa, we draw Edge of Autumn, and Unearth. Where are you, Unearth? You're there. And then we put an Underground Sea in the pile. And because we are short 1 land, or sorry, 1 life, we won't get to have Street Wraith, which means we die to their Plow, which I think they will have in hand, sadly. But the oof makes it so that we can't use the LED, And I don't think we really have any other way around this. No, so we have to like hope somehow that they don't have plow in hand. But I mean, they play 4 plow. There's 17 cards into their deck, and they have 2 cards in hand that they have been sort of not playing. So just trying to work out if there's any other way that this plays out for me, but I don't think there is. I think it's this and just hope that they don't have it. So we build the pile, we predict Thassa, we draw edge, unearth, and edge into Underground Sea. Imagine if they hadn't wasted us. We would have a mana, which means we would be able to replace the Underground Sea in the pile with like Cabal Therapy for plow, or a blue card for Force of Will. And there's no way we can get the blue card into our hand here. So yeah, let's just make, is there any card we don't want to show them as the last card? I don't think so. It is what it is. Let's put a daze there so they don't see the full 4 set of days. So we'll put daze on the bottom, then Underground Sea, then Unearth, then Edge, and then Thassa. We predict. And if either one of these 2 stupid cards had been blue, I think we'd be golden. Thassa's Oracle. So they could have decay or plow. That's what I worry about. Okay, they wasteland us here. That's fine. Yeah. All right. Too bad. So sideboard wise, we want the snow-covered mountain. And we want the 2 Abrades and the 2 Goblin Crater Makers. And the question is if we want Pyromancer. We definitely don't want Pyroblast. I also don't think we really want like Therapy, at least not 3. I think Baleful Strix is fine. I think the rest of this is actually fine. So we probably don't want Pyromancer because I don't think, like, regardless of how their board is set up, I don't think that they are going to not deploy creatures like most turns. So I think Pyromancer is gonna have a hard time keeping up with that, with like Knights of the Reliquary and Oof and whatever. So what do we cut? Maybe we cut a Predict. Maybe this matchup is not about doing stuff like that. I think I just want to be fast. So I think I'm going to cut the last Therapy. So our way to deal with them is to Force of Will or daze their threats or kill them with these. And hopefully just go like against decks like against Savannah decks, I really just want to go turn 1 Dark Ritual Doomsday. That might sound sort of obvious, but yeah. Oh, that was too bad. Yeah, imagine if that Lines Out Imanor Pyroblast had been a blue card for Force of Will. But then maybe we would have used it earlier to like force that what do you call it? The oof. But if we had done that, then, you know, our life total would have been threatened. We could have Street Wraithed into that last card, so that plowed in. And so, yeah, all ifs and buts. Alright, let's choose to be on the play. Yeah, I guess this is fine. This has removal for a couple of things. And a cantrip and a dark ritual. I like this. If cantrip finds this Doomsday, I think we're looking really good. And they're mulliganing. Wow, mulliganing down to 5. I wonder if they brought in ley lines because they saw Unearth. So this is a fetch island off of Delta because we want the Scalding Tarn to be able to fetch basic mountain. Come on, Doomsday. I think we don't want the... or do we want the Force? No. Let's pass on the Force, because, you know, Force is something we might want to, like, counter a Surgical Extraction or a Mindbreak Trap or something, which I'm finding it less likely that they'll have. And we don't want Force to counter, like, creatures, because we have, hopefully, we're able to get rid of them. Now, if they drop Mother of Runes here, I'm going to be a little bit annoyed. I guess not. What, Therapy? Or, okay. Oh, not Therapy. It would have been Thoughtseize, but, okay. Noble Hierarch, that's fine. So I think we Brainstorm here and hope to hit Pay Dirt. And we do. That's very interesting. So I think it's fairly plausible that we're able to concoct a way to win. But not on this turn, obviously. It just depends on how we play it out. So what would be the worst case scenario that they cast next turn after Doomsday? Probably like Leovold. And I haven't seen any blue lands during last game, so it's not even a sure thing that they'll have him. They could play like just like a knight and have that knight be like a 4/4, and we'll be at, you know, compromised life total. The Crater Maker can sort of buy us a turn, potentially. Right, let's put back a Doomsday, and let's put back one of the fetch. Maybe the Swamp. Yeah, let's put back the Swamp. And so let's fetch Badlands. So yeah, gonna get Badlands. It's not the end of the world at all if we get Wastelanded, and this lets us, you know, have access to the red mana. So I hope they don't have Mindbreak Trap. I think they're the only thing that gets us here. Okay, they don't. So next turn, let's see here. So next turn they could Wasteland us and play Thalia, for instance. If they do that, then I think we can just win. So we can make a pile, and the pile needs to have Thalia, Thassa, of course, and then Edge of Autumn and Street Wraith, and then a fetchable land with our Polluted Delta. So I mean, with what they are representing right now, I think it's almost certain that we will be able to get 2 draw steps post Doomsday. So maybe I'm just supposed to sort of do that. Do we want to like put, let's say we put Volcanic Island on top, then it doesn't matter if they wasteland us, we can still like play Crater Maker next turn. Let's say we put, next turn we draw Volcanic, play that. Then the following turn we draw Edge of Autumn, we edge into Street Wraith, we Street Wraith into Thassa, we play Delta and fetch the island. I actually like that. So island on the bottom, Thassa, edge, Street Wraith, Volcanic. So I think they probably have like surgical. I think that's what they were pondering here. That would make sense, I think. Okay, so there's a wasteland. Ooh, Chains of Mephistopheles. If a player would draw a card, except the first one they draw in their draw step each turn, they discard a card instead. If they discard, they draw a card. Okay, so I need to discard cards whenever I want to draw cards. I think that's probably still fine. I can keep the Abrade and the Sea in hand. And then I should be able to like draw discarding those off of my cyclers, if I understand that card correctly. It's a little bit of a tricky card. So let's just go like this. So this, I think, this matchup I like more when I have access to like white removal rather than red. Green Suns for 2. You'd have to imagine it's the Oof, but it could be Scavenging Ooze. I don't have any other card on my radar. Yeah, it's the Oof. That's fine. Okay. So I'm going to play out the Delta. I guess I don't need it, right? Because they don't have removal. They're tapped out. But so maybe I should just wait and see if I'm actually right about how this works. So I'm going to cycle this. I think that means I'm supposed to discard a card in order to draw a card. So I'm going to discard Abrade. And then I'm going to tap this Volcanic Island for blue. I'm going to sacrifice it by cycling. And then I'm supposed to discard Underground Sea. And I'm going to draw a Thassa's Oracle. And I'm going to play Thassa's Oracle. And this plays around Mindbreak Trap in case they had that. This artwork is interesting. Okay. So I think that's probably a decent sideboard plan. We're not in colors that can answer enchantment, so having Chains of Mephistopheles in play is definitely scary, especially if it happens before Doomsday is resolved. But I don't think we can do much about that, you know, except for like counter it with Ace or Force. Creator Maker, he destroys a colorless non-land permanent. So yeah, I think we just go with this. I was talking to Kai about switching Flusterstorms for Pierces. That's he wants to do that. So I think and I can kind of get on board with that. Pierce would be good here. So opponent mulligans. No, they don't mulligan. They start with 7. We have to mulligan this hand. Yeah, I guess. So we can dump the LED, I think. So this is not a very strong hand. So if they have Surgical here, they can pretty much end the game. So I think if they take Doomsday, that's because they have Surgical. And we'll be sad. If they take Preordain, we'll know why. Bummer. Unless they have like a second discard spell, I guess. So this is going to fetch Island. Yeah, we want none of these. Ponder's a fine draw, but I really am concerned about what just happened. It makes me think they have Surgical. I mean, it's either Surgical or they have another Thoughtseize. Surgical would obviously be the Nightmare, but another Thoughtseize isn't exactly great. Or they could have him. Yeah, okay, so they have the second Thoughtseize. Okay, I mean, 2 Doomsday left, as long as they don't Surgical it. I'm torn on whether to Strix or Ponder. I think I'm going to Strix. Okay. So they don't have access to white mana. I think they have white cards in hand. Force is a good draw, I think. All things considered. So I guess we just have to dig for a third Doomsday. I'm gonna preordain here as we don't have a shuffling effect. Okay, I'm gonna put Force of Will on top, and I'm gonna predict it next upkeep. Yikes, there's the white mana. So do we Force of Will Thalia here, or do we let it resolve and, you know, feel confident that we'll be able to get to one of our Thalia removal creatures or spells? I think if it's Knight of the Reliquary, we might leave it, like let it interplay because we have Baleful Strix. I don't think they have like combo lands like Dark Depths and Stage. If they have Ghost Quarter, then it's really scary. I think I'm going to let Thalia interplay. Okay, I'm going to predict here. It'll cost me all 3 mana. Okay. Draw for the turn. There's Doomsday. That's good. So it means we need like a Lotus Petal, I think, or a fetch land in order to get to a point where we can Doomsday. But I really like drawing the basic island. It means we can play out a land and have force open, paying for Thalia without it, you know, being bad lands that dies to wasteland. So if they drop like a beater, like a knight, I think I have to force. Or like green suns for whatever. Caracas would be annoying because it means drawing like a removal for Thalia is off the table. So knight is a 3/3 currently, but sadly I think we need to hope they don't have Veil. Oh gosh, wasn't even thinking about that. But I think we have to do this anyways. Yeah. I guess Veil doesn't work through Thalia with 1 mana. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have tapped the second island. That was dumb. That was really dumb. None of this works. I have to bottom both, seeing as we don't have 2 land drops a turn. I guess I'm going to play out the Volcanic. They can wasteland that. I should have attacked. Wow, I'm really not playing well. I mean, I want to not attack on the turn I'm playing Doomsday to sort of stave off attacks for 1 turn. We could cycle Edge of Autumn, but I think we might want that. Actually, no, we don't want that in our hand. And the reason for that is that I don't see us being able to have enough mana to hardcast Doomsday and win on the same turn. So having Edge in our hand is less important. Okay. Drawing the Delta was good. It means we can Doomsday in 2 turns if nothing bad happens. Which, you know, something bad might happen. Maybe it was dumb wasting the force on the knight, seeing as we have Strix. Well, we'll find out. So I guess we'll keep back Strix to block the knight. If they can go knight, like drop another knight next turn, then that's pretty bad. Even like any creature is probably pretty bad. Plow on our Strix, and then I think then we lose. That's it, right? Now I wish I kept the Edge of Autumn. So we take 6, I think. They played a land, yeah. We can take 6 and drop to 8. And then we fetch, drop to 7, play Doomsday. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, I think this is looking like a lost game. I wonder what they're thinking about. Like maybe if they need to activate Knight and not attack with it. But I'm not sure what the point would be. Sure, they could activate it, get like a fetch land and stuff. Oh. Maybe they do have the combo. Maybe, or maybe they want to keep, maybe they're keeping up a Jugabog actually. So can we do anything here? So we have 5 lands, make that 6. We use 4 to cast Doomsday. Another 2 to cast Preordain. No. We would have, we would be tapped out, and we would drop to like 4 life, no 5 life, and we'd be dead. So I think we need to play out this delta and wait 1 turn, and then like if we draw, yeah, I'm not sure. Like if we draw a Street Wraith, but the 2 life might end up being too many. It probably will end up being too many. So like maybe LED. We draw LED. We will have 2, 4, 6, 7 mana. That's exactly these 2 spells in our hand and LED. So maybe if we draw exactly LED. But let's see how much they can deal us here. They can get a fetch land here. Oh, okay, yeah, or Canopy. That makes the Knight a 6/6, so they can deal us 8. They could draw Maze and deal us more, but just this drops us to. It's like if they draw like a fetch land now, or if they're able to deploy fetch land, then we've lost effectively, because what do you call it? Because we need to fetch, dealing ourselves 2, and a fetch land would make the Knight a 7/7. Thalia makes it 9 damage. We drop to 3. We fetch twice. We drop to 1. We can't Doomsday. So, what happens if we draw a Braid? We spend 3 mana casting a Braid. We also exactly don't get there. Like we can cast Doomsday, we can cast Preordain, but we'll be tapped out. So I think it is looking very unlikely. Cradle. Okay, that's not a fetch land at least. Collector Roof would be a bit of a thing. Yeah, here comes the oof. So that leaves our Lines at Diamond line out. So do you attack with a Knight here? You gotta be tempted, right? It makes it a 2-turn clock. So if you don't attack with Knight, you attack with Thalia and it's still a 2-turn clock. So actually maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you're supposed to hold Knight back and keep open Jugabog. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. It makes sense. So, does anything get us out of this? How about Ponder into a Braid? So what does that do? That makes it so that Thalia dies, but we get attacked for 8 next turn, dropping us to 2. It means we can't fetch. I think I have to try. There's a Crater Maker. I guess that's not the worst. Actually, that's pretty good, right? So the problem is, it means we have to play out Badlands here. So we play out Badlands. I suppose it doesn't mean that. We don't have to do that yet. But it means fetching then, and losing. It means losing a land to. I guess they could have another plow. But whatever. If they have plow, they have plow. But let's say we tap these two lands to cast Crater Maker. And then probably we do need to play the Badlands, because if we fetch and then they plow in response, we won't get to kill Thalia. But we'll be at 9, blah blah blah. So, you know, whatever, this comes down to us taking the Crater Maker. And playing the Crater Maker. Passing. Okay. I guess Caracas. I still think I need to get in front of the knight when they attack, and then, like, shoot, I guess, oof or something. Okay, so knight gets real big. And they have plow. Yeah, alright, they got us. So we lose to Maverick. That's disappointing, but it happens. Alright, let's jump into the last match. Hope to finish strong on a 4-1. So, I don't know. I feel like you gotta really win game 1 against Maverick to feel comfortable, but if you do, you probably do feel comfortable. But I didn't. It was close, but I didn't, so yeah, it is what it is. I think actually I do want to try switching Pierces in lieu of Flusterstorm. Yeah, don't mind that I've called it Esper 2. It was just about copying a deck list, and I was lazy. So I think I want to try that. I know Kai's been trying that, and I think, like, we make ourselves just a little bit better against Chalice decks with Pierce, and against Delver and stuff, I think Pierce probably counters most of the stuff that Flusterstorm would counter. I think Pierce is worse versus combo. I think that's where you do get worse, but having said that, like, Pierce is a card versus Gyruda. You know, you can pierce an LED or a defense grid or something, where Flusterstorm does nothing. And Pierce is also a card versus certain things out of test, like the defense grids or the Wishclaw Talisman. And yeah, I think that's probably it. I guess randomly pierce an enemy dead out of Black Red Reanimator, but I think then we're clutching at straws. But I'm not trying to say Flusterstorm is bad or anything. Just want to try this. Okay, here we go. All right, let's Let's choose to be on the play. Yeah, I'll keep this. It's a bit vulnerable to Wasteland, but I still like it. I think I probably end up bottoming both of these, to be honest. Having the volcanic as a second blue source would probably be nice, but I think we need to get further in. Uh-oh. I think this means it's like a Painter or an Urza deck. You sack the bauble here just to see. Chalice for one. So do we daze this? So if we daze, what's the worst that can happen? We daze this, and then they go like sack LED, cast Echo of Eons. I guess that wouldn't be so bad. Or we daze this and they force back. I think I value having the Force of Will in my hand over going behind a land drop. So I think I'm going to daze this. And if they want to sack 3 cards in their hand to pay with Lines of Diamond, I guess that's fine. This is not a nice matchup, by the way, so I am worried about my chances here. Okay, that doesn't really change our current situation. They see Force of Will. So I guess that might inform their decision or misinform it. You know, they see Force and they see 5 other cards, they're going to assume I have a blue card. So if they were to have a Force of their own, they might be hesitant to fight over this. That's actually interesting how that little, you know, tete-a-tete works with Urza's Bauble. Alright, sweet. That's a good draw. So I guess we therapy here, and I expect to miss. I think cards that I need to, that are on my radar are like Urza, and there are Emery of, yeah, I think it's Emery it's called, and it's Karn the Great Creator, and it's Narset. How do you spell that? Jeez, it's like Lurker of the Lock, right? Isn't that something of the Lock? Emery, okay. Yeah, this is the one I'm thinking about. I think I'm going to name that one. Okay, so they have no more mana. Man, I had both Karn and Narset on my radar here. Okay, so too bad we missed on the one therapy, but we won't miss on the second. Another LED, sure. So question is, what do we name here? guess we name Narset, as that's the one they're closest to casting. I'm not really worried about the defense grid. I'll have 3 mana to cast Parter of Veils. I'll have 3 mana to cast Force of Will next turn. Ooh, and they drew a second one. Wow. Brutal. Like that. Ancient Tomb. Sure. This means that Karn is lethal, so to speak. It means, like, Karn, and then they will plus Karn and sack LEDs in response and get, what's his face? That thing, you know, Mycosynth's Lattice. Right, okay. So it's a little bit precarious. We kind of need them to blink first. We need them to try and get Karn into play. There's Mox Opal. And they know we have Force, so, I mean, they're just gonna go for it. Yeah, alright. We're gonna force pitch Daze. I think we are, right? Like, imagine if they drew a second Karn. They're playing this into the Force. Let's try and cycle Street Wraith just to see what we draw. Yeah, let's, we have to force this, pretty much. And if they have drawn a second one, then we die next turn, unless we draw Doomsday. Or ponder finding Doomsday. Come on. So I guess we could play out. Oh no, we can predict here. Do we want to do that? We kind of need predict in order to win off of Doomsday. Unless like we use like I guess we get to a point where both Baleful Strix and Preordain could work. So actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's go Baleful Strix, Scalding Tarn, Preordain. And let's predict away the Scalding Tarn. Scalding. Thassa's Oracle, that's a little bit ugly. Bottom both of these. We're tapped out, so Force of Will is not going to do any good for us. Okay, so if they have second Karn, we're out. They have a bunch of nasty draws, like a Narset would be ugly. Looks like it's Karn. Yeah, alright. Concede. Rough. Alright, so we want a Braid and Charmaker. And is that id? Do we want, like, randomly want Cage to shut off Echo of Eons? I don't think we do. I think, oh yeah, never mind. We want Blasts, of course, for, like, their Narsets. I think we don't want Baleful Strix. I think we don't want Cabal Therapy. I think maybe we cut a Predict and a Preordain and try this. Maybe I'm boarding into too much disruption, I'm not sure. Like 3 blasts and 4 removal spells, but at the same time we're boarding out of like Therapy and Strix. Oh man, this matchup. I really wish I had won the Maverick matchup. That's the kind of matchup I feel like I would normally win, whereas this is just like no. So I thought I clicked on yes, and now I worry if I click again and the game's just lagging out, I'll click mulligan, but it doesn't look like anything's happening. My timer's counting, so click yes. Yeah, I think this is good. This is good. This is like natural turn 3 Doomsday, and we have days to like hopefully get us out of like Narset or something. Of course, doing that means prolonging the game further because we'll be like losing a land draw, but I like this. We can dig on turn 1 with Preordain, and if need be we can like deploy Crater Maker. I really like the Crater Maker isn't out to Karn. So I think they're still deciding mulligans. Alright, they keep. Let's get Underground Sea and cast Preordain. So I'm going to bottom Doomsday, and I'm going to take Ponder because in case we want to daze something next turn, it's nice to have like 1 mana cantrip to then play on our second 1 land turn. Having said that, we might just get blown out here by all their mana ramp, so looks like they'll have 3 mana. Oh, her. Do I daze this? So when she comes into play, they mill 4 cards, and then they can cast an artifact from their graveyard each turn. So next turn we can cast Crater Maker. But then we can't kill her. Now I think I'm going to let her get into play, to be honest. It means like us dazing or, you know, countering like Chalice or whatever is not really going to work. Okay, so next turn they can like violin a Lion's Diamond or weld in a Lion's Diamond from their graveyard. So I guess we can just kill her. Yeah, I think we're supposed to kill her with a Braid. We can also destroy Mox Opal, but they can just get Mox Opal back. So yeah, let's kill her. I'm not sure this deck runs Force of Will. Would certainly seem like they have enough blue cards, right? 4 Emerys, 4 Narset, 4 Urza, so it's 12, so 4 Forces, it's 16. Maybe that's not enough, I'm not sure. Okay, so let's get Badlands. I mean, in either case, we can daze. Hope it doesn't come to that. Having said that, the whole like, do they have force makes me actually now wish I'd brought in Cavern of Souls. So I guess like I could look up if this kind of deck normally runs force. Oh, it doesn't even show up on the legacy. Assertive Bomb. Snoko with Karn? Doesn't sound right. Oh, never mind. So they just pass? No, oh, so never mind. I am keeping them in their upkeep. So I feel sort of okay about this game in particular. I feel quite hopeful that I can win this, but we'll see. But then I'm just like not very confident about like a third game versus the Chalice Narset Karn deck. I like the art in this one. It's kind of cool. Hey, she's a merfolk wizard, just like Thassa's Oracle is. Another Emery. Yeah, no, let's let it happen. We have the option to play Crater Maker and kill her if we want to. So what do they mill? Lotus Petal and Bauble. So, I mean, I guess Bauble is like a Bauble is a draw engine, so that's kind of nice. It's like a mini Luris. So we could go for it now, or we can go for Crater Maker. And so Crater Maker will kill her, but then we won't be able to Crater Maker kill a Karn. But right now they are sort of short on mana, but let's say they can draw into like or play like a Soul Land, then we can still daze Karn. And like, what's the worst that can happen if we let her live is that they get Lion's Diamond into play, or Urza's Bauble, or I guess Petal. Petal turns on their Mox Opal. So if we let her live and they get in Petal, they have Mox Opal, now it's on, and then they just play another land, they can play Karn around days. So I don't know, I think maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm supposed to oh, come on, what's happening? Yeah, okay. Maybe I'm supposed to just go for Doomsday here, but I do kind of want to do this. Yikes. That's Karn mana right there. Urza, and we can't counter because he cannot be countered. So when he comes into play, you get a 0/0 that has, which is then a 2/2 because they have 2 artifacts, and then you can tap and untap to blue, and you can tap 5 which they will have next turn to shuffle, and until end of turn play whatever they shuffle on top of their deck without paying spell. Okay, so this potentially kills us next turn, but I can't really do anything about it. They also get to play, like, I guess, Chalice now if they have it, so they can like tap the artifact that they create and the Mox Opal, which is now switched on. Okay, but we are lucky and we get to win on the spot unless they have stack interaction. So I'm gonna bank on them not having that. I think that's kind of where I need to be at. Okay, so we brainstorm, drawing LED, predict, and Edge of Autumn, and then we draw Thassa and Petal, and then we die to like Mindbreak Trap or Force of Will. So be it. So let's put Petal on the bottom, then Thassa, then these three. Oh no. Well, I mean, at least if you do something, do it now so I can daze, but it seems like that, you know, they're pausing, so it must mean they have, or it could mean they have something. It could also just mean that whatever. Yeah, so let's put back Ponder and Predict. And draw Predict. And looks like they have a sixth, but we shall see. Alright, sweet. We got there. Alright, so game number 2. That didn't feel comfortable, let me tell you. Alright, I mean game number 3. Do I actually board in Grafdigger's Cage? I know the whole Emery thing feels a little bit dirtily. Obviously we don't know their hands, so I don't know how big of a difference it would have made. I think we're better off just sort of fighting on the stack and then trying to go for a quick Doomsday. Having said that, is there anything in our list that seems superfluous right now? Maybe 4 Pyroblasts is one too many? They're not very good against Chalice, but we have 4 cards that answer Chalice. I think I'm just going to go for it. I hope to draw better than them. I think that's sort of what it will come down to. This is like the insta-lose to Chalice on 1. question is if we can afford this. It's 11:40 p.m. where I am, and I'm heading to bed after this. And if I keep this hand and they chalice for 1 me, I'm going to have nightmares. They keep 7. I think I have to mulligan this. This at least lets us sort of fight over their turn 2 play, even though this is also very susceptible to a mulligan. Sorry, to chalice for 1. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't feel like going down to 5 when I have this. So, something exciting going on over there. I guess they're playing all 8 baubles. Sure, can't do anything about it. Chalice for 0. Guessing that's not gonna really work with what they're doing. They hit Eons though, so they can cast that next turn. They can activate Emery to get Petal in. Just trying to see if I can hit Force of Will here. We do. It's fortunate. I'm not sure it's going to be enough. I mean, our hand isn't really doing anything else. So they drop a land and get the Petal back. Oh, chalice for 0? Sure. Oh wait, they can cast it for, yeah, I guess they can. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that. Jeez. This is going to be painful. I wasn't thinking about that. I thought they had to, like, play it out of their graveyard. So... I think I have to force this, as incredibly feel bad as it is, just to be able to get my cantrips off next turn. And yeah, this feels very bad. Let me know if you would have done anything different, you know, in the comments, but I don't think, like, our hand then just does nothing. Yeah, cute stuff. What we're buying now is one paltry little cantrip. Okay, actually, that was insane. That was an insane draw. Let's hope it is good enough to buy us, you know, further into this match. No! Yeah, day late and $1 short, my friend. Let's draw the Doomsday and ponder. Though, like, we're gonna get owned so hard. So if this ponder shows us Dark Ritual, Brainstorm, and a black mana source, we might have a chance, which is exactly what it showed us. I still think it might be too late. We have to draw the Brainstorm, and a very real chance we need to pitch it, which will effectively end the game, I think. So I don't think we can win without it, but let's see. So they can make... Oh, okay. Because I guess like they need artifacts to make mana, right? They need... Okay. And now this construct is shrunk. Not sure their draws are going to be better than just having those in play, but I could be wrong. I mean, who knows? So they need 1 mana right now, and they can get that by tapping the construct. So they can't actually activate the Urza and, you know, just get a free card off the top of their deck. Remember, we need 2 additional draw steps from where we are right now. It seems incredibly unlikely that we will get those with the cards in our hand remaining. I mean, obviously we can't allow Narset to get into play. It would seem pretty obvious. They would echo of Eons, and we would draw 0, and they would draw 7. So we draw a Petal. Let's say they attack now, we drop to 13. We draw a Petal. They attack us, we drop to 9 or 8. And then we get Doomsday, and then we have to like pretty much like draw, predict, I guess. And that's without them getting more artifacts into play to make life more difficult for us. Yep. Oh, I thought we drew the Petal. Never mind. Sure. So what do they choose here? Like a Trinisphere? I think regardless it is over. Let's make them do it right. They could mess up. Defense grid. Sure. So next turn they can tap their construct, tap defense grid, and tap their lands and Chromox or Mox Opal. and they can make enough mana to cast Mycosynth Lattice. So I'm gonna wait for them to do that, and then I will concede the game. So hang on. I guess that means they attack us for 6. Or I guess Karn can then get them an artifact, and then they can attack for 7. Oh, never mind. They have lethal. I wasn't thinking. Sure. GG's. Okay. So that was a fairly, you know, flaccid end to a promising start. So, a bit bummed about that, but yeah, those were the breaks. Feels like I should have won the Maverick matchup, and I think this matchup I just faced is really not very nice. I think that pretty much goes for all builds of Doomsday. You know, the Chalice, Narset, Karn deck is just, you know, it's a tough cookie. But what do you call this? Mono blue Urza? Yeah, I don't know. Urza Stompy maybe? Echo Stompy. Yeah, I've faced it before and I lost there too. Oh well. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to open this chest while I'm still recording. $25 points. That's cool. And Crux of Fate, which I don't think is worth anything, but I don't know. Alright, well, I want to thank you for watching. I'm going to crack on with this Grixis list for a while. I really like what what I've been experiencing so far, even though this took a little bit of the shine off. It feels good against Delver, which is not all I care about, but, you know, a large part of what I care about. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll be back at some other point with some more Legacy.